Hashem, everybody starts with a smile on the face, which is great. We find that when Korach began his mutiny, so Moshe's response was, and his whole group, he says, Boker. V'yod Hashem es hashalo. Morning, God will make known who is to him, v'zakodosh v'ikrevelov, and the one who is holy will bring close to him. So Rashi cited Midrash, Boker. Take a look in Rashi. Is on Pasuk Hey, V'ikriv. See, he says a Midrash. Boker, Omelo Moshe. Moshe said to Korach, Gvulos chilek HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'olomo. God created boundaries within this world. Yecholom atem lavok boker le'erev. Could one overturn morning to evening, meaning morning should be during the evening period and evening should be during the morning period? It's not possible because it's etched in stone. That's the reality of existence. Identically, you cannot in any way undermine or change this appointmentship of Aaron. Why? Shenemar it says there was evening and there was morning, and Hashem separated between darkness and light, or between light and dark. God separated between light and darkness, right? And we find by Aaron, God separated Aaron to sanctify him. Okay? Just as in creation, you can't change the daytime period and the nighttime period, it says Vayavdel. Identically, it says by Aaron, Vayibodel. So what touched me, we find that during the 6 days of creation, every day it says Vayer Vayoker, and then it says Vayara Lakim Kitov. God saw what he had done was good. Then it says Vayer Vayoker Yom Echad, Yom Sheni, whatever it is. On the second day of creation, it doesn't say Vayara Lakim. It doesn't say Vayara Lakim Kitov. It doesn't say God saw that it was good. So Rashi brings the Midrash. Why in the second day of creation doesn't say Kitov? The third day it says Kitov twice. On the second day of creation, Kitov is not mentioned. So Rashi cites the Midrash that since Melechas Hamayim, the creation of water wasn't complete till the third day, because the third day it says that had to do with the vegetation. God created vegetation, the trees, and all vegetation on the third day. So he left Kitov for the third day, so each Tov is going, one is going because it was the completion of the second day, and the third day was the third day. That's Rashi. However, the Alkut, the Medrash says differently. The Medrash says, what happened on the second day? It says, Vayavdil Elokim es hamayim. God separated the water. Me'alad l'rakia, mitachas l'rakia. The water that was on top of the heaven and below the heaven. That's what Hashem did. He split the water. So this is phenomenal. So because taking something that's whole and splitting it has relevance to machlokes. Machlokes means you have an entity of a community or relationships, and you fractionalize those relationships. That's machlokes. The word machlokes comes from chelik. You cholik, you divide, you separate. So since splitting, taking something whole, has a certain negative connotation, Hashem didn't want the word kitov be associated with machlokes. Therefore, he reserved it, even though in this context it's positive, but to say kitov on machlokes, Hashem doesn't want. To say kitov on that, because it has this negative application, which is most times. So I thought to myself, Rashi says, just as it says by Boker, but it says Vayav Elokim ben Or ben Achoshech. Here it says Hashem separating between day and night, light and day. So we do find the word Kitov when he separated on the first day between night and day, or day and night. So why, when it came to water, splitting the water, that's machlokes, and here it says Vayavdel, Hashem separated. So what's the difference? That's the question that bothered me. So the difference is there's a stark difference between the two of them. Rashi over there says, when it says Hashem separate between light and darkness, it says, they were functioning intermingled. They're two entities. Light is an entity, darkness is an entity. But every moment, it was a moment, darkness, light. Hashem says, for the world, it has to be separated. When I separate, I'm not taking one entity and dividing it. There, I'm putting each one in its own period of time. There's light is day, darkness is night. Says by the water, you take one entity and splitting it in half. That's machlokas. Something which is truly whole and dividing it. What's machlokas? You have a relationship, you have a community. You fractionalize the community, that's dividing. That's negative. So therefore, Rashi, when he cites the word Vayavdel, it's just as it says by day and night, it says Vayavdel. He doesn't cite the water. Because there, that's true, that's machlokas. Aaron was the one who was qualified and fit to be the Kohen Gadol, the Kohen. It says, Vayibodel Aaron Lagdisho. Aaron was separated Lagdisho. There you weren't breaking anything. You were showing who's most qualified. It's not taking one entity and you're dividing it. There, the separation is like light and darkness. It's not that you take one entity and dividing it in half. Therefore, this is kitov. That's what Rashi, just as day and night, it says Vayavdel, those periods are set in time identically, this discernment between Aaron and the rest of them, it's no different. For the purpose of existence, it has to be this way. Therefore, there's no relevance to separate between water, upper and lower, because there you're actually breaking something in the middle to make it into two parts, which was one whole part.